Greetings again. This is Eli the Restorer, the Magician, the Magic Man. I've heard all those names over the years, especially recently with some of the cool things I'm teaching at Unity Church. But I'm really just Eli, a man who's here to find other people who are either awake or looking to awake to new ways of being in the world. As most of you have noticed, if you pay attention to the media, what's going on in the world, what's going on in our neighborhoods, and what's going on between one another, there's a lot of separation out there, separation consciousness, duality, polarity, etc., etc. And I truly believe, through some of my training in the Kabbalah, that that's a result of the fall of Adam, Kabbalistic style, not some of the things I learned at Catholic grade school. And today I'd like to talk to you about what motivated me to start this channel. Deep down, I've been watching this eruption in me for many, many years. As I get closer to the year 67, it's stronger in me today than it ever has been. And what this eruption is I can't sit around and do nothing and play it safe. And I want to share a dream I had about 4 nights ago. And it was one of those dreams that you wake up from and you really feel like you were living that thing. And I know lots of different systems are talking about, as the veils are dropping more and more and more, that our dreams are becoming more real. Actually, is that realer than this is right now? And in this dream, it felt like they kept prodding me with this one lesson over and over. In life, it comes down to 2 choices. Play it safe and be secure, or go on an adventure. And this theme played out many times in the dream, but they kept coming back to that thought. Play it safe and be secure, or let's go on an adventure. And as if I had time to reflect on that whole idea, I too, as many people, play it safe and like to feel secure. And I'm not going to talk a lot about that. We know where does real security lie and all those different concepts. There's plenty of people out there talking about all this or writing about it. For me, life is an adventure. What could that mean? And I think what it means to me for most of my life is taking risks, getting out of our comfort zone, going to our edge, becoming more of who we're supposed to be in the world, not who they want us to be, whoever they are, right? And I suffered from that for many, many years, especially in my early 20s. I was following the rules, drinking the Kool-Aid, doing what was expected of me, and that got me nowhere. I mean, I was safe and secure, I thought, and then things started happening in life to wake me up. I see the universe as a beautiful place. I don't see it as bad or as evil or as hard, and I can't wait to get out of here. I think when we veer off our course, the universe catches our attention. I tell my clients and people I counsel that the universe sends emails. And I can't tell you how many clients over the years, for instance, who got let's say a DUI or a divorce or a medical problem. And when we were able to work together, we were able to uncover what was really going on. That rock that hit him in the head, that DUI, that divorce, was really a blessing in the long run. Short run may not look like it. I know for myself, when I got a divorce, I was pretty devastated. I can wake up and see it was a blessing for both of us. But going back to my dream, I would like to see more of us enjoy life. See it as an adventure. Everything's here an adventure. You know, the veil has been pulled over our eyes like Morpheus told Neo, and that's my, if you haven't seen the Matrix trilogy, you've missed out on a lot. Definitely see it. You know, poor Neo is sitting there, like many of us are, realizing there's something else going on here. Is this all there is? You know, going to work, buying a house, playing it safe, feeling secure. Or is there more going on? And you know, one of my favorite scenes in the first movie is when Morpheus showed Neo what was really going on after he took the red pill. Neo promptly threw up. And I've had many throw up experiences as I've come to a higher understanding of what's really going on here. It's like, you're kidding me. And I think all of us can relate to that in some way. So as this channel goes on further and further, and as we gain support and understanding, not just through words, you know, we need the words, we need the guidance, but we want to find the techniques that can help us restore ourselves to wholeness. For those of you that are out there that are starting to wake up, you're the ones I think I really did this adventure for. Because I know when I was starting to wake up in my early 20s, which was, 45 years ago, there was no internet, there was no phone you could walk around with to get information. I did find some classes and seminars, but I did a lot of traveling at the time. Chicago, which I'm not too far from, did have some classes, but I did a lot of traveling, mostly in this country, to find the teachers that would help me wake up and continue on my journey. So I pray that one of the things I could be doing for you as you're watching these videos is to find somebody who's just not talking the talk, that's walking it. And I'll tell you a cute little story, and now I'm going to get back to that dream here, because that seems to be just an incredible timing to have that. When I was 26, 27 years old, I was supposed to go skydiving. Now, there's many ways to skydive in life. You don't have to jump out of a plane. It could be leaving a dead-end job, a dead-end relationship, a dead-end part of the country you're no longer feeling stimulated by. At the time, I weenied out, and deep down I knew I weenied out. I don't think I admitted that to anybody. I'm sure I came up with a good reason to not go skydiving. I wasn't as awake then as I am now with all this stuff. When I turned 50, all I heard in my head was jump, and I knew it was the higher version of Tom, the adventuresome one, that was part of my fractal plan to jump out of a plane. And it wasn't just for the thrill. It was very, very thrilling, of course. But when you face your mortality, when you can spit in its face and say, bring it on, that changes us, guys. But like I said, there's many, many ways to skydive in life. And most of us are just waiting in the plane. We can go anytime. I'm not sure what we're waiting for. And I know what the universe will do. It'll push you out of the plane in some ways. It'll find an opportunity, especially with certain illnesses that I see with people. What a heck of a way to wake up, to have to go through a whole regimen of cancer and chemotherapy or radiation. Let's get there a little sooner. Let's try to wake up quicker. And one of the things to look for is our internal guidance system. I call it our GPS, not their GPS. Think about your life right now and what we're all being called to do. I think we can become more whole, more restored by risking, by saying, you know what? I know it looks scary when I'm going to jump out of that plane, whatever that metaphorical plane is, but I'm going to test it. I'm not going to let my fear control me. And I had a teacher, I think he was a therapist actually, in my early 20s. I got in the client chair early because, I didn't come from the Leave It to Beaver land or the Happy Family land. And what he said to me, and I've used this most of my life, is feel the fear, do it anyway. I've allowed myself to feel the fear, a lot of fear sometimes. But one of the things I've really picked up on is the fear eventually dissipates. And after you're done, you kind of feel like Superman. I call fear kryptonite. It weakens us as people when we give into it. And yeah, we got our ways, like when I chickened out of skydiving at 27. We got ways to rationalize it, justify, pretend like it wasn't really an issue. Yes, it is. What are we most afraid of? My thing is, the worst case scenario in skydiving is you could die. Well, we're all gonna die. So are we going to live while we're living, or are we going to live in fear while we're living? I'm hoping to spread the word more, to wake you up. Like I was awakened, to challenge ourselves, to say, you know what, why am I playing it safe and trying to be so secure? And that security that you think you have can be gone in a second. Well, here's the thing. One of my teachers, Deida, and whether you're male or female, that's a book I wish I would have read at 18, and all of us would have read at 18. It's called The Way of the Superior Man, and Deida is out there talking about relationships, masculine, feminine essence, which we're going to be getting into a lot on my journey with YouTube. What he talks about in there is when we don't find our true purpose, our passion in life in that, we're like a ship without a rudder. And that's why that dream that I had a few nights ago was so provocative for me. It's like, okay, I pay attention to my dreams. When I was in my 20s, I spent a few years in Jungian analysis, and I learned a little bit about dream interpretation in that. But I think the dreams that we're having today are coming more from a higher source in ourselves that are giving us these dreams. And so as I woke up that morning, I talked to my twin brother, Tim, and I said, I had the weirdest dream. I felt like I was in class all night, just over and over and over. Life is an adventure. Life is an adventure. Let's be on an adventure together. Let's find one another that are on our path either for a while or temporarily to go skydiving with in life and to have the fun that we're meant to have here instead of playing it safe and secure. I'm not knocking the need to do that. I used to be that guy. I had the perfect American dream. House, swimming pool, lots of friends, girlfriends, etc., etc. And all of a sudden, one day, I'm walking around my house on the outside. It was fall, I can remember. It was October that year. And like I heard the voice to jump, I heard sell it. And I knew it wasn't me, the human, the Tom part of me. I knew it was my Eli aspect. And so what I did is I called a real estate buddy of mine, Dave, and I said, hey, Dave, I got to put my house up for sale. And we'll get in more into that, the adventure, because I had the American dream. I was playing it safe. I had a booming therapy practice, the house, the picket fence, all that stuff that we live for and dream for. But underneath all that, I knew there was something more. And so I'm hoping as you guys tune into these videos and learn some of the techniques I'm going to teach you, but more importantly, as a human being, just ask yourself, are you passionate? Do you have love for your life? Are you enjoying your life? Do you feel that connection to other people instead of that separation consciousness most of us get stuck into? And I think you know the answer. Now, for those that are still sleeping and that just want to click off on this video and say, oh, this guy's full of crap, or you've got all the answers, this YouTube channel is not for you. I want to work with those that are awakening or those that are not sleeping anymore in the third dimension of that consciousness. How would you know you're doing that? You see a lot of duality in the world. You don't see unity. The higher dimensionality consciousness sees more unity and connectedness. So if you're stuck in duality consciousness, that's okay, but I promise you this, at some point you're going to start to realize, even though it looks good and bad, when you step back from it all, I call it zooming out, you're going to see the beauty and how everything is interconnected, even the crappy stuff that happens in our lives. If, the nice part about going on the age of 67 is I've got some road in my background. And as I look down that road to all the things that happen, what we would call good or bad, I see it, and I was being moved on my chessboard in life. A divorce, an addiction, other things I've gone through in my practice or my personal life. It all looked tough at the time. My brother and I have come up with a term called suck land. Sometimes we're in suck land, but don't freak out. You're going to pass through it if you don't fight it. So I hope this talk today, and especially the dream that I was guided to share with you, makes a little sense, and we'll be getting into the practice of leaving your comfort zone little by little, like Deida says. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. All right, God bless and journey on.